Hello and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender Show. It's the final day, it's the Sunday. I hope everyone's had a great weekend, cold weekend, because I've been freezing cold, and hence all wrapped up because you've got to keep warm in the office and the studio as well. Anyway, it was great. I don't think there was any animosity. I had to leave yet again a little bit earlier. Obviously I had to get to work, I had to get prepared for the big match. And it was easy, wasn't it? It was just one of those things. But I spent time with quite a few people there. It was nice to see the committee, it was nice to see the referees, full house and referees. What more could you ask for? Smiling faces. I think there were smiling faces anyway. They looked like to me. Anyway, it was cold for them as well, and they just carry on doing their games, which is hard, isn't it? Because, excuse me, many teams will walk away from the game as soon as theirs is finished. Okay, there's big clubs and they'll stay most of the day. I didn't see most of the lads that I normally go and see and speak to and have a chat and a gab with, but I did have one or two phone calls asking was I still there for a chat, and I'm sorry, I wasn't. I had to get off, and as I say, it's nice to be missed. And also there was a message that I received off someone, a parent, I think it was a parent, who wanted to catch up with me and have a chat to me, and they had to get off. and missed them by about 15 minutes apparently. But I've sent a message to Del. I'm sorry, so sorry, we'll have a chat next week if you're there. I'm there from, I said 8:30 in the morning. I think it should be around about 8:15 in the morning, so we can have a catch up and you can tell me what you wanted to talk to me or see me about as well. And also, just well done to everyone who played, the kids there as well. And there was a youngster, I meant Finn, I think he was playing in the team. I just heard this manager named Finn, calling the child Finn, by the way, and I was looking around, I couldn't tell him in the kit, and I wasn't too sure which one it was, because 22 kids running around on a pitch. He's been waiting to see me over the last couple of weeks, and I've missed him. Sorry, Finn, a youngster there who I managed to get him into a team, and he's so happy, and he was telling his nan, she pulled me up the other day and said he's been looking for you, you went past him and you didn't recognise him. I'm so sorry, Finn, I didn't mean to. I always meet up with Isaac on a Saturday, and obviously I'll try and meet up with yourself on a Sunday. So I'll pass a message onto your nan, Gina, and tell her that I'll be there for next Sunday. You let me know. I'll find out what time your game is, and I'll make it a point of coming over and having a little chat here as well. But it was nice, and it's great to know that you're playing in a football team, you're happy and enjoying yourself, because your nan is over the moon that you're in a team now. So I was glad that we could put some input into that one as well, and young Isaac on the Saturday. So I'm having a right bunch of kids all queuing up to talk to me, and I love that. I think it's brilliant. It tells me that I'm doing something right for you kids out there as well, and the young referees as well. I was talking to them yesterday, new superstars, I must admit, up and coming. One young referee called Callum, brilliant, and a big mention to Sophie yesterday, who was refereeing. And what I have noticed, the yellow armbands are coming back, which is a good thing for the young referees, because they don't want to take the verbal abuse, to show all the spectators that they are under 18 years of age. And it's so important that they wear them, that they recognise them, and if you do get the abuse, then they'll feel it, I'm telling you now. So I'm still marching around and keeping a check on referees as well. I'm watching the movement and watching how good they are, the decisions that they're making, as well as you coaches and you managers as well, because don't forget, we're looking for a nice Respect Award for the end of the season, and that won't be very long because it flies through. Thankfully, we're getting through a lot without, touch wood, I don't want to mock it, I always get accused of mocking the weather. Rain, heavy rain, great stuff. I've had it once or twice, but it hasn't deterred us from playing football. It's great, and the games have been on. So this is on the grass as well, so please, just keep off for the weekends, rain, and just make sure that all the kids can play, and there'll be no animosity towards the weather at all whatsoever, I tell you that, during the week. So well done to each and every one of you who have braved the weather, the cold weather, got out there and played some great football as well. It was nice to see some good football as well, and met up with Col Fulton. It was nice to see him. I haven't seen him for a few weeks. He's looking well, he's doing well, and we had a 5-minute chat. We couldn't have a big chat because at the end of the game collar to get off as well. And that's what happens in grassroots football. You can grab a few minutes with each manager, coach, referee, and then they're all busy, they're all out there, and if I can get some time during the half-time interval, I can nip over and talk to one or two referees to see if everything's going okay, and then my presence on the touchlines or on the field of play sends a message to the spectators, who, if there is any irate spectators there, that I'm around and watching as to what is going on. So I hope your league, whatever you played, was fantastic today and you enjoyed it, and many referees turned up. As I say, there was quite a few referees, full house today at the Jeffrey Humble, so Dave's not too sure as the referees, and I managed to catch up with Dave for 5 minutes as well, and especially once again all the brilliant staff at the Jeffrey Humble. They're great. You just have a nice chat with them right the way through. So I'll be catching up with them again next week. We're on to one or two things that I want to try and make an announcement on, and they have to excuse me. To our listeners as well, welcome to our listeners, as well as DXTL TV from the Touchlines on YouTube. Just a little bit hoarse today. I think that's 2 days of cold weather being out there, but as I say, I've been wrapped up, kept well, but you've got to keep your hands warm, and I didn't take my gloves. Why? I've got about 5 layers on, I don't take gloves. Doesn't make sense to myself either. I don't know why I didn't put my gloves in the pocket, and I forgot my ID badge as well today. That's not like me, as one of the staff pointed out, but I got in anyway. So the QR code is on that, and we've got to talk to Johnny and Jason regarding their ID badges as well. Unfortunately, I've got a message for the young commentators. I didn't get the meeting yesterday with Dan from KCC. Sat in here for nearly 4 hours in the office and just didn't get the meeting on. Whether there's going to be another chance of a meeting, I'm not too sure, but we'll get on with the show. And I'll be in touch with you lads, young commentators, in the very, very near future, which is the next couple of days. And Ben, I'll definitely be in touch with yourself and let you know yourself know what's going on. I'm hoping to ring Wayne a little bit later on, if not first thing tomorrow. Have a chat to Wayne, and I've also got to write my story. I don't know what I'm going to be writing. Any ideas, folks? What can I do with grassroots football? Any problems that you all have? mail@tonetexttheline.com. Add me as a friend on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social network sites. And if you've got any ideas what you'd like to see me doing in my column, simply send me a message here. We have done referees, we're still doing referees, we're still talking about it. We know there's a shortage. That is not really all down to verbal abuse, aggressive behaviour, racist comments and bullying. I do know that referees are busy, they have other jobs as well. So they're trying to fit everything around them. They've got busy lives, and I know even the young referees are. I talk to them, they all tell me what they're up to, so I know they're busy and they're trying to scrape in some games as well. So rest assured, I think we'll get there very, very soon indeed. And I'll ring up the County FA, I'll message them. I didn't message Steve last night, I was just too busy. And I know he's got back to me, so I'll message him again and find out about referees courses that people are asking me for. And I just want to find out what we can actually do with Don't Cross the Line to see if we can get some referees on, because I get inundated with parents, managers coming to me about referee courses, saying they're trying to get in touch with the county FAs. So I'd love to take it on and give you some information, and I'm sure we can get some budding referees out there as well as some senior referees as well. But managers, please note, you can't just sort of, I'm going to be a referee and I'll help out in this league and I'll do 1 or 2 games, pick and choose. The county FAs like you to travel around if you can and do some other games. And if you want to go and improve and get assessed and develop even further, then the world's your oyster, isn't it? As we said that to one young referee once, but things do change in lives. And what can you do? Lives do change, we know it. And I had one unbelievable week last week. It was really hard for me to get through. It's probably one of the toughest weeks that I've gone through, trying to get myself back on track. A couple of big birthdays, a couple of funerals, but one obviously I couldn't make, 2 because it was my uncle in America. Just so sad week. You don't expect that. You have to plod on and go on with what you're trying to do in life, and you get a couple of illnesses as well mixed in between that you have to try and sort out. And not myself, thankfully, other people, but it was just a really horrendous week. I don't want it to continue, but it's going to because of the illnesses. We've got to find out how we can cure them on these people, and just keep fingers crossed and just be strong for them and yourself and try and get through a lot. And I'm sorry that I didn't get that meeting yesterday because I had a lot to discuss with KCC. Unfortunately, this is the way life is, unfortunately, isn't it? And the way things are. We need to get things right on track again, and hopefully I'll have a nice clear week which I can do a catch up as well, because I know there is still one or two things that we are going to be sorting out and make differences as well. And thanks to Sean, who managed to update my little website that was playing up a little bit on the widget side of things. It was a nightmare, and my backups, and he done it within 10 minutes. I was trying to practice on it for 2 days, I think, or we're in between 2 days and trying to fix that. But thank you very, very much indeed, Sean. It's great. It's nice to know when you know something's up and running, and we can transfer this podcast onto our radio station, which is on the website, www.don'ttexttheline.com. If you're on DXTL TV from YouTube, from the YouTubes, I was going to say, then you can have a little look on our website and see what we do when we're out and about as well. And you can listen to the podcast rather than watch it if you want to, if that's better for you. I'm sure many of you would like to watch it and see what goes on in the studio. Well, it's an empty studio. You do have me, but on Friday, possibility, it's half term. We may have one or two of the kids who are really looking forward to getting back on the show. We've got loads in store for them, and I've got to ring Wayne because the day is going to change. So watch this space, as they say. Another mouth-watering cup of tea for me, just to ease the back of my throat, which is very, very dry at the moment. Hopefully I'll be singing later on and there'll be no problems with it, and we'll be talking during the week, maybe in young commentators over the Premier League games. I couldn't mention it at the moment, but there's a lot of sore faces and angered faces at the moment because some results don't go their way and our way, but we'll talk about the Premier League next week, because there's always ups and downs in the Premier League as well, isn't there? There's plenty of games. You win some, you lose some, you draw some. It's just like grassroots football, I suppose. But it was great to be out and about over the weekend. The W&K JFL, we discussed about only 6 referees there out of the 14. We talked to the committees, we talked to the managers. We know it's not about verbal abuse. We know these referees are busy. Next week it'll probably be full, and also Sunday. So we want more referees, by the way. W&K JFL. The more on the list, the better. We know the Walton Kirkdale Jeffrey Humble is pretty full. There's no shortage there. There's people asking, can they come on the waiting list? So that's a good sign. But obviously it is full. And just if you want to put your name down, just give us an email and I'll go and see Dave and I'll get you on the waiting list as well, because some referees will be working away, some referees will be doing other things, which really happens in life. Like myself, you know, I want to do a show and then I've got to do something else, and I've got to wait for meetings that don't show or don't turn up, and then you've just got to grind your teeth and just get on with things and just hope for a better week ahead of you. And that's the way football is, that's the way life is, so we all get on with things. But what about your referees? I did put on there yesterday about referees not re-registering because maybe it's going to cost them too much. We'd love to hear from yourselves. mal@don'ttexttheline.com. If you haven't re-registered, why not? And I know it's probably because you've got other commitments. We want to do a survey, we want to try and have a survey to find out just why referees are not turning up to the games. Now the majority, 99.9% of the posts that I'm seeing is blaming verbal abuse and referees not coming back because of it. We hear this in the amateur game a lot more than we do on grassroots football. We hear about 1 or 2 incidents which are blown over very, very quickly and dealt with by good committees, ourselves, don't cross the line, good management. That's what it's all about, working together and iron these problems out. If you do have an irate spectator, parent, that comes in, week out, that you don't want any involvement with them in the team, then simply tell them that there's no need for them because they're causing your team big, big problems, and the referees as well. And I'm sure the referees and the committees will thank you, as well as the other parents who just turn up week in, week out to see their child having a game of football. And that's what I like to watch as well. There's some great football, some great headers, some great skills off the kids. And when you work it out, and you've got a lot of foreign footballers within the Premier League and what have you, and people are saying, oh, do you know how slim it is, the chance for your child to make it in the Premier League, to make it as a professional footballer? It's non-existent, it's next to none. Why is that? Because I look out there and I see, if you have some of these kids and develop them, they could be world beaters, they really could. So why are they all escaping the net? Or are they? Because I know most of them, the parents, a lot of parents don't like the kids to be swooped on, put into an academy and then released 12 months later saying you're not good enough basically, and we don't need you, and we wish you good luck for the future. That's the worst thing that everyone wants to hear, especially the child who's missed playing time with their friends and feels a little bit embarrassed when released as well. That all goes to it. I'm really drinking the Lady Grey. I don't know, I think it's Earl Grey that I'm on. I've got no Lady Grey. I'll have to go to the shop and buy some. I still enjoy them. Earl Grey, getting a little bit too used to them now, so I need a change. I'll drink any flavoured tea, green tea, everything that's good for you. Any tea that comes out, any flavour, I'll have a go. And I don't think I've found one that I don't like at the moment. And I don't have the milk in tea whatsoever, so it makes it even better. But people do have these flavoured teas and put milk in as well. I wonder why, because it takes the flavour away, if you ask me. But I don't have milk. The only time I have milk is on my porridge, AM, every morning. That's all I do, trying to keep away from fatty milks if I possibly can. Like you people and your coffees and your sugars and your thick milk, thick cream. Oh, went off that 12 months ago when I tried a trifle, and oh, it makes me balk. I'm terrible. I'm one of those people that balks. We were looking up balks, myself and Paul from work. We were looking up the word balk because I think the majority of Liverpool people say I was balking last night. And when you look that word up, it doesn't really exist. I don't know where we got it from. We made that up in Liverpool. There's another word made up. It's a Scouse word. We'll all have to carry on with this one and get it in the dictionary. Balk that's the way I thought. I've said that for years and years and years. I think the majority of people from Liverpool have said the same thing. Have a look it up and see what it means. And you'll be going, there's no such word. We know that, but I've used it, and I've just used it again here on DXDL TV from the touchlines. So I'm sure you've heard of it yourselves. If not, I'm sorry. We just made this up tonight in the studio, on DXDL studio. Anyway, if you've got football coming up this week or next week, please let us know. Keep up the good work, Jason, as well, with Next Gen. He's doing well on the goalkeepers. Plenty of teams are asking for goalkeepers. I'm sure he's inundated with teams asking if he's got any spare keepers. Keepers who aren't playing for anyone at the moment. That's a feeder club. That's brilliant, isn't it? There you go. There's your goalkeeper. I hope your team does well now and it's trained up by Next Gen goalkeeping. That must be fantastic. Keep up the great work, Jay. And Johnny as well. And we have to talk ID cards. We've talked about that later on, because you want the QR code on the back of your ID card and the name of the club, and it's brilliant for safeguarding. So I've got to sit down with a few managers who are interested in these, really want them, and it does make a difference on the touchlines, I assure you. You've got your ID cards, you've got your QR codes. You see them all with phones, trying to put the code in there. Where is it? Can't find it. Running up to the little desk, and I just walk through and I stamp. Well, I didn't today because I forgot my card. I don't have my ID card. I really did. Anyway, it's always nice to have that one, and I'll do more up. I'll make sure I don't forget it next week. It was in my other coat pocket yesterday, and I put a different coat on. That's why I forgot it. And when I was there, I realised when I was in the car park at Jeffrey Humble that I hadn't got my ID badge, but they all know me. So I got in there anyway and watched some games, some great games, some great refereeing. And as I say, smiling faces. I think they were smiling. I was looking at them. They look like smiles with the referees today. That's because you've got a full house, see? Yeah. Anyway, I hope you referees enjoyed your games as well. And I was talking to many of them and they said there was no issues. That's a good sign. That's a great sign. Full house with the referees. What was your league like across the country? Daryl, tell me what your league, I think yours fantastic. Anyway, you always get your referees well looked after there. Lostock Hall, brilliant, great supporters don't cross the line on our Respect campaign. And Daryl won't give up. He'll share my post every time he sees them. Bang, he's right out there. So we've got a great supporter down there in Leyland and Preston. Fantastic. Keep up the great work supporting us, please. And we've got supporters all over the country, as well as the FAI in Dublin. Aye, we have, right. We've got all them. Anyway, fantastic. It's great to have supporters all over. God, I'm not too sure about Wales now. We had loads of Wales. They were there. They were there. I've gone over my time. The Welsh, I'm sure we've got some. We'll have to take them out and get in touch with them. I'm sure they're supporting Don't Cross the Line and the Respect programme. But wherever you are, whatever you do, whenever you go and play football, please tell your parents, tell your mums and dads, kids as well, that you want to see loads of respect on and off the field of play. You want to make sure that those referees are looked after and the rules and the regulations are adhered to, and your committee will be over the moon as well. Thanks for tuning in over this weekend. In the meantime, we're ending the show, so we'll be back again next Friday, and we'll have a little chat. It could be Thursday as well, but we'll have a little chat to let you know what the week has in store, or the following week, and what the week has been for, what's like for us. Oh, it's one of those things, isn't it? Has it been good? Has it been bad? Has it been positive? Has it been negative? I don't know. Let's just hope we all have a positive week and we enjoy ourselves. See you next Friday at 7 p.m. So for myself, Melanie, all the team at the Grassroots Show, Don't Cross the Line, Respect programme, hashtag Don't Bully the Ref, put your feet up, relax, have a nice little drink, and we'll see you on Friday at 7 p.m. Good night, God bless.